Oh, oh, and he's come off. Oh, I'm really into one. That is amazing. Off he goes. start to the day. Unbelievable. Beautiful common carp. The previous PB was at 11.5 pounds. So now, oh, you've seen me. Single 12mm sticky baits krill, boilie, just underneath the tree, right close in. Almost 6 foot Nash dwarf rod, 1 pound test curve. Nearly pulled the thing in. Still screwing the landing net handle on. So I've been in the water for about 5 or 10 minutes. Getting on the scales first. We've got to hold him up. Obviously I've got to deduct the weight of this bag yet. £20.5 with the unhooking mat. Wow, I think the unhooking mat's probably about £1 or so. So looking at about £18-19 with away the unhooking mat separately in a little moment. It's definitely a PB. My first carp from Lower Tamar Lake. Nearly pulled the rod in. Only the reel against the edge of the wooden platform stopped it. Look at that beautiful fish. Gorgeous condition. I just took loads and loads of line right at the start, right into that bay. Just the left hand side. Beautiful. Try and hold it up for the camera. Okay. Try to work out if this is heavier than my dog. This photo picture is going to be terrible because I can't hold him up. There we are. What a beautiful, gorgeous old common carp from Lower Tamar Lakes. Just about to get ready to bait up the peg. It's probably about 5 or 6 intermittent separate beeps. Just going to tighten up. Let's see. Anything happens from there, it develops. Might be something small on the end that doesn't want to take it on a proper run. And maybe it's something just lifted my bait and dropped it back down again. It's another drop back. Let's lift into it. Maybe just the wind. Can't feel anything. Resisting with that. That's a lift into. I can't see any signs or anything on my bait. Gives any indications. Interesting. I'll cast it back out and I'll bait up as planned. don't know if you can see them on camera, but the mosquitoes are just like a horror film here. You can actually hear them in the air. I've got insect repellent jungle spray on, but I decided to wear this face mesh for the first time on my scope smock. Hopefully it'll keep them out. It's 9:30 now. Sun's still visible from behind the trees, just about. Nice golden sky. No indications yet, apart from the one drop back that I had lifted into without success. So hopefully we'll get some luck in the night. So it's 10:30 now. I just did my last cast about 10 o'clock. I've got both rods out with 12mm krill sticky baits. Boilies, one's on a hair, one's on a bait spike, one's on size 6 ESP trig hammer, the other one's on a size 10 ESP curve shanks. Just trying to put a bit of variety out there really, in case there's some smaller fish like tench or bream feeding as well, so they're more likely with a smaller hook. Don't know, we'll see. The smaller hook is on my 6-foot rod. It's cast out against the south bank, just kind of as the water goes down towards the dam and out the weir area. My right hand rod is my 9-foot rod that's cast straight out in front of me. It's about 25 metres from the bank. I would have cast further, but my bait up feeders weren't casting as far. I think they're a bit too heavy to get any distance on them. So I wanted to try and cast my bait in around the area where I cast out various bait up feeders, which have got all the ground bait mix we described earlier on, cast out there. So far we just had one drop back, which resulted in nothing being attached when I lifted into it. That was at 6:30. I started fishing at about 5 o'clock, I think. So yeah, no luck yet, but we'll see how we go. It's 4:30 AM now. It's definitely starting to get light. The lake is completely still, so I thought just leading up to dawn I would recast both my rods. So I'm just going to flip them into the margins left and right, just with a single krill, 12mm boilie on each, and just throw a few out. It's 3 PM now. I've just recast my rods out again. Going for 2-hour windows on each cast. No indications again that time. So the left rod, I've actually swapped them over, so the left rod is now the diver rod, and I've cast that far to the left, just basically as far as I could cast, just along this left bank, which is just all reeds all the way around this whole bay to the left of this peg. This is, there's no other fishing in that bay, it's just all completely closed off. So I think it is shallower along that section, but all the wind is blowing completely into that bay, so I'm hoping that the fish are just grubbing around towards the margin. So I've just cast it over that side, and my right hand rod, which is now my Nash 9-foot dwarf, I've cast it as far out to the right as possible. Again, there's no other people fishing in the pegs to the right of me, so I think it's probably still within the range of this peg anyway, but yeah, I just cast it more to the right, so I'm just fanning a bit further afield really, just to see if I can find any fish. I've had no indications yet so far in this peg. Same tactics as last time. I've got a mesh bag with 16mm sticky baits, krill, active boilies in the mesh bags, and covered those in pineapple goo for a few minutes just while I was reeling in the rods and then before I recast them out. And then on the hook baits, the one that I've got cast out to the right of my peg, I've gone for a sticky baits bloodworm dumbbell wafter, which has been glugged in Manila glug since Friday, and the one on the left is a 16mm sticky baits krill active wafter, so it's basically the wafter version of the boilie that I've got in the mesh bag. So I'll give it another couple of hours till 5 PM. It's a pleasant day, warm, it's a bit sunnier, too sunny probably for the fish at the moment. It was overcast earlier on, but yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for it to cool down in the evening to start. Might try putting a waggler and worm on my 6-foot Nash dwarf rod as well, just to keep me entertained in between bites, just for a bit of a change of variety, see if there's anything smaller fish close in. Anyway, I'll update you if I see any fish or next time I cast out. Well, I've been using my waggler for about 20 minutes. Just down underneath this tree on the right hand side. I just caught myself. It's probably just a shadow in that video there because the sun's behind it, but nice little perch for a few ants. It's nice to see some small fish in here. I'll just bring back and then hopefully we'll have a bit more fun on the waggler with a worm while we're waiting for a take on the bomb rods. So it's 7:15 and we've just had our first sign of a fish. Large carp, just about where my finger is. Just jumped clear out of the water twice. So I'm going to cast over in that direction. I was due to recast anyway in 15 minutes, so it makes sense to target some showing fish. Hopefully it bodes well. We've got definite fish in the swim just as we're approaching dusk. Fingers crossed. It's 7:52 PM. The rods have been out 50 minutes now since I last cast out to that showing fish. Just got a single bleep on the left rod. Hopefully it's going to develop. No other signs of fish since that last one that jumped 50 minutes ago that I've seen. It's a pleasant evening. I'd just like to catch some fish as well. So it's 9 PM. I've just recast out the right rod. I've decided to leave the left rod where it was from the last cast at 7, but I've decided to move the right rod back to straight in front over the bait. No more signs of fish or indications since that last indication on the left rod at 10 to 9, but I'm still hopeful for the overnight and dawn. The wind is meant to be changing to blow directly towards this peg tomorrow, so hopefully it'll move the fish in this direction. I've always got hope. Hopefully I'll report back with the fish in the night, or if not, in the morning. It's 9:25 now, and I don't know if you can see from the video, it's quite dark, but all the ripples have now gone completely off the surface of the reservoir. It's completely mirror still. I find that fascinating at night, how the waves and ripples just die down to nothing. I don't know if it's to do with the moon or the sun set, or I'm not sure what it is, but it means that every single indication on the surface of the water you can see any slight ripple all the way across the lake. You can see. Sounds like it was just some kind of bird just getting across the water. Oh, I can see a head torch on the opposite side now, so it does look like there's someone fishing on one of the pegs a bit further round from the car park swim. I've not had any indications yet, but I've seen some fish in my swim, but they do look like smaller fish. And I have had a pair of bats. One's just gone by there, but I don't know if it caught it on camera. There's been a pair of bats just swooping around the trees above my head. I'm not in my bivvy yet, I'm just lying on my bed on the in the open air at the moment. I've got my dog with me who's keeping me warm, so, and a few more layers to put on yet, so hopefully I might not need the bivvy. I know it's going to be dry all night, but we'll see how we got on. Hopefully there'll be a fish. Who knows, but I'm enjoying myself anyway. Good morning, it's Sunday 4th of August, 5:35 AM, no indications through the night. It's 7:50 AM now. About half an hour ago I decided to move pegs, so I've moved to peg 4 of long walk swimmers now, so all my bivvies all set up and everything, so I've been gradually moving everything took the rods out 5 minutes ago. The main reason for moving basically is that I've got complete clear overhead, so there's nothing impeding my casting. So hopefully I can cast as far as I can get with these rods. I've not had a chance to have a proper full length cast with these rods, so it's a learning curve for me. So I thought I'd given it enough shot really of the last peg, 22 hours. You know, it might look all the fish will move into that area today, but I thought it made sense to move, so there's nothing else impeding me. Hopefully the fish will be here as well, and I'm not going to spot up at all. I'm just going to stick to the mesh bags with about 5 or 6 boilies in each cast, and hopefully that'll be enough to attract them into the swim. Fingers crossed. It's 10:15 AM now. I've just changed my dial ends on rod to use a method feeder. It's a 60 gram Guru super long distance, whatever it's called, method feeder, banjo feeder, and I've put in the red range of what I was spotting out yesterday, so it's a mix of bloodworm and krill powders and hemp seed and corn. There's not much left in there. I'm going to make up a krill powder mix. I've also scaled the hook right down to a size 10, 4-inch hook length, pre-tied Preston KM1 I think it is, KMH, with the spike, and on that I've put a mainline match tuna 6mm wafter. So it's the kind of tactics I've caught bream on Bude Canal, so I thought I'd scale letting things down and see whether I can catch any bream or smaller fish, or maybe carp that just aren't feeling the large hook and the large boilies that I've been using. I'm going to recast out my Nash rod. I'm still going to leave the carp tactics on that, but I'm going to use one of the bloodworm dumbbell wafters, which I think is, they're probably about 12mm I think. Yeah, still no signs of fish. I did have one beep on the doe rod, but I'm not sure whether it's just a liner or just the wind. It's 3:10 on Sunday. I've been fishing for, I don't know now, 30 hours maybe. I haven't worked it out, and I've finally got a fish on a 6mm bloodworm pellet and a method feeder. There's lots of little small bleeps and blobs before I finally lifted into it. But I've actually got this. I've got it right up under the rod tip, 13 foot out, and I think it just hit the bottom and just must have, it's barbless hook, so it must have just escaped and swum off. I'm completely gutted. It was nothing big. It was probably maybe a roach. Couldn't quite tell. It's the first fish a proper bite even I've had on this rod. So it's 3:10. I've been fishing now for 29 hours. Finally got a fish on one of the rods. It felt like maybe a roach, I think. I got it right under the rod tip and it bumped off, so I'm completely gutted. Obviously it wasn't my main target species. Carp, bream or tench are my targets, but you know, I've got to that point where I've just reduced my bait size down and down until I can get decent bites, and 6mm bloodworm pellet on the and ground bait in the method feeder seems to be the one. I've had quite a few indications now. That resulted in a fish right up to the rod tip, so at least I've got some kind of fight. But is it better to have had a take and lost than never to have had a take at all? I can't decide at the moment, but I want to get this back out and hope that there's a few more out there for me. It's 3:30 PM now. and I can't believe it, but exactly the same thing has just happened as 25 minutes ago. Similar sort of size fish, probably a roach. Again, didn't see it. Got to just about there, just in line with the furthest out reed on the left. Just bumped off. I don't know whether there's a snag down the bottom. I didn't see it again. First I knew it was off was the feeder came out the water and there's no fish on. It's just literally right there. So I don't know whether it's just there's a shallow bank and they're just going against that. I lifted into it a couple of times to make sure it was on. Maybe I reeled in too quickly, I don't know. Frustrating. Hopefully I'll get another one soon. Well, this one actually stayed on. Roach. Maybe about 5 ounce. So I'm pleased that I've actually managed to land a fish on that rod. Some bloodworm pellet again. In the method mix this time is a new krill mix that I've made. And it's sticky baits powder because I've run out of the mix and I haven't got the bloodworm powder with me. So yeah, hopefully we get a few more of those and maybe some bigger fish moving on the shoal. It's 7 o'clock now. I've caught 2 roach, one about 5 ounce, one about half a pound. I didn't weigh it, but it's 10 inch, it's nice and chunky, so that's what I'm guessing at. But I've lost 4 roach, all at the net, and missed one bite. And what I'm putting the ones I've lost down to now at the moment is that I was using a 60-gram feeder, and I think as I was lifting the fish up through the water, I think the weight of the feeder was kind of bouncing and bumping them off as I lifted them up at the very end. So I've changed it into a 30-gram feeder. The feeder size itself is actually the same size as the other one, so I can still put as much ground bait in, and I can actually cast the same distance as well, so that the kind of weight was counterbalancing against the I don't know what to say really. I suppose a lighter one can kind of sometimes cast because it hasn't got the weight. That sounds nonsense, doesn't it? Anyway, I've cast the same place as I was anyway, so I've just tightened up. I've had a bit of a beat, but I think it was just the line just settling, so hopefully now. I've also downsized the hook as well, so I've gone from a size 12 down to a size 14, so hopefully that might help as well if the hook was just a bit too big, not going in the mouths properly. Oh, and there's a take, I think. Just wait for it to go again. Just see if it develops. And I normally just go if they're going to go. That's a take. It just seemed to go to the left, and that's where the line went to. That's a take. I can't feel it knocking. Ah. gone from bumping off the net to missing the bites completely. The next one I'm going to leave to develop a bit more. Just tighten up again. A big drop back. I don't think it's on. Can't be on. Tip's not pulsing as though it's nodding. No, it's definitely not on. The feed's on service. Frustrating. Good morning. It's 6 AM on Monday, 5th of August. After the missed couple of bites I had yesterday evening in my last clips, I didn't get any more bites on that pellet line. So I don't know whether those missed bites spooked off the shoal of roach that I had a few bites off over the prior couple of hours. I don't know. Not had any takes on either rods throughout the night either. To add to that, 3:30 and there's completely unforecast heavy downpour, so the bits of tackle that I'd left out, a couple of bags, rods and bait bags and hooking mat, they're all completely soaked, obviously the bivvies as well, which means when I come to pack away later this morning it's going to make it all the more frustrating. I just hope we get some kind of fish this morning as a reward for the efforts and time that I've put in. It's 7:05. I'm just setting up a 6-foot rod with a method feeder, and I was just about to swap that over with a 9-foot. But I've just had my first take, I think, of any kind on a carp rod the whole weekend. Just a little pull and a drop back, so it might just be a liner. But I'll have to leave that one out there now because of that. I can't pull that in. It's just my luck if I do, just when a carp's about to take the bait. So I think I'll leave that one in and then pack away my my diver ends on rod. Well, fingers crossed that develops. I've had breakfast, no more signs on the 9-foot Nash rod, a couple of bleeps on the 6-foot with the method, so I'm going to leave the method feeder out for now, pack away the Nash rod and the rod pod, so I can get everything packed away. I'll just leave the Nash rod out for a bit with the method feeder, see whether I can get any fish on that before I pack the bivvy away and leave this morning. I'm pretty much all packed away now. Just got the 6-foot rod out. I'm going to pack that away and then take Rusty back to the car and then bring the car back to load it all with the tackle. So it's been about 46 hours of fishing altogether. To show for that, we've got 3 perch which are caught on waggler and 2 roach that are caught on the method feeder. No signs of any carp indications at all. got a couple of carp shown on the surface throughout the weekend, but no takes at all. So basically I could have done what I've done in 48 hours in probably a couple of hours on the canal, on View Canal. So it's been very frustrating. I've enjoyed the journey, but not the destination, basically. So there's a lot of parameters that are going on. There's a lot of stuff to learn on a lake like this, so big. The only success I've had so far was just within half an hour, just literally stalking the margins and just dropping it in. So I think I need to try and do that bit more. The problem with this bank is that there's only 5 pegs, so once you've parked and walked all the way to this bank, you're kind of pretty much dedicated to this side, especially when you set up a tent and all the tackle involved. So I think maybe I need to travel light next time. But yeah, there's frustrations, so hopefully we can cure those another time. But I think what I'm going to do, take all this back and then have a couple of hours minimal session on the canal with just the method feeder, and use up some of the krill powder mix that I've mixed up already, and bloodworm pellets. Use those on the canal and see how well I can do there. Nothing to on. Yes. Had a couple of twitches and just tighten the line up. And yeah, it's on. I think on that. Come on, has it bumped itself off? No. I think on the helicopter rig on the cage feeder, I think they've just got too much free line to play with. Whereas now, if they're just picking the micro pellets and just getting themselves hooked. Okay, I mean they're all identical. Nice chunky, good quality roach. That was a take. That was a much more positive bite. It doesn't necessarily mean a bigger fish, as I've come to find it in the past. That's the biggest bend I've seen in this rod for a while. I'm sure it's going to be another one of those roach. It's a bit slightly. Oh, it's a tiny little common carp. Oh, there you go. I did say it was a bigger take. I didn't realise there were carp that small in here. I assume that's from successful breeding in this lake rather than stocking. He's got a bit of a sore on his mouth, but apart from that, it's a welcome sight. Enter another one. Feels very small though. Let's try to drag it. Starting to nod a bit now. It's come off the last minute. Lots of small little twitches so far on this cast. It's only 2.5 minutes in. A bit more delicate with this now. I've got rid of the hook ready to swap over from the other rod. So I've had 5 missed bites or fish come off now since I had that little common carp. So I think this hook is a bit blunter. I don't think it's misshapen, but it's something not quite right, so I just do want to swap it. That's another roach in the net. Another nice quality roach. That might be the biggest of the day. It's a little bit deeper than the others. And it's the same again. There we are. A couple of small knocks then. Oh, go on. He's got to be. Is it? Yeah, a couple of nods. About the same sort of size as the very first one on the cage feeder. A few ounces roach. First bite for ages. Just as I'm drinking a coffee. Bring my spoms up around the way to put more fish back into the area. I did try pellet for 10 minutes though, so that might have been part of the reason, but it's definitely slowed down a lot, so I'm glad to get another fish. Thought they'd all got away. There's still some in the area, or back in the area. It's been another 5 hours of blanking for me on Lower Tamar today. I've got 3 weeks left of my annual pass. I think this will probably be my last session. My annual pass for Upper Tamar has started already now, so I think the next chance that I get to come out fishing, I'm going to use that and go to the Upper Tamar lake instead of Lower Tamar. It's been eventful. 12 months, peaking with the common carp in May, and apart from that just quite a few, good quality roach, but not really what I signed up for, to be honest, on this lake. I was hoping to catch several carp and some good quality bream, but none of those have turned up for me. I think it's just a bit, you know, next level for me really, for my standard of fishing.